Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with Popovers. That's right, pop goes the over because the over goes pop. Where's all my third base fans? Anyway, after I posted the popover picture from Chicago, a viewer sent me this great, super simple recipe which worked amazingly well. So I'm going to show you how to make it, and then you can read more about it on the blog, of course. All right, into a measuring cup, I'm going to put in 2 large whole eggs, some salt, some milk, I'm using 2%, little pinch of cayenne, some all-purpose flour, and that's it. I know, can you believe it? Those few simple, basic, primal ingredients are going to make this unbelievably poofy popover possible. I'm going to mix that thoroughly. I'm using the kinky whisk, which was a bad choice. I mean, it is kinky, it just doesn't whisk as good as a wire whisk. So I'd use a regular whisk if I was you. But bottom line, mix it up, only takes like a minute. All right, so that's good. We're going to set that aside. We're going to take a muffin tin. I'm just using the half size here because I'm just going to make 6. I'm going to butter and spray oil in these. That's right, we're giving them a double greasing, but I want to make sure these come out really easily. And it's also going to give them a nice crust. And once those are greased, we're going to slowly and carefully pour in our popover batter 3/4 of the way up. And you can go anywhere from halfway filled up to 3/4. The higher you fill them up, the crazier and wilder the tops are going to look. If you pour a little less in there, they won't puff up quite as high. But I'm going to go 3/4 here. And I found with this recipe, if you go up 3/4 of the way, you'll get 8 exactly. So I'm going to cook 6 now. And then I actually saved enough batter for 2 because I wanted to do a little experiment on how the batter would work the next day. And it actually worked pretty good. All right, once those are filled, an optional step, if you want to put a few shreds of cheese on the top center of each one, it's going to give it some nice color, as well as, of course, a little flavor. And if you are going to put cheese, don't put too much. We don't want to weigh these down, so I'm literally just putting like half a teaspoon of grated cheddar on each one. And those are ready for the oven, which, believe it or not, is cold. That's right. Do not preheat the oven. Place those in the center of a cold oven. Put your heat on 450. And then set your timer for 30 minutes exactly. All right, do not open the door to peek. And then during that 30 minutes, the oven's going to slowly heat up. Those are going to slowly puff up. The last 10 minutes or so, the outside's going to get really brown and crusty. The inside's going to basically fill with air. Just such a cool phenomenon. And they basically blow up into like an edible bready balloon. Look at those. And like I say, if you fill them like 3/4 of the way or more like I did, they really puff up out of the muffin pan and look so cool. Look at that. And because we grease those thoroughly, they come right out. I'm going to take those right out of the pan, put them on a cooling rack. But for once, I'm going to let you eat this hot. As soon as they're cool enough not to burn your fingers or mouth, go ahead and dig in. And of course, I know how much you guys love the old fork scrape to hear that crispy exterior. That's the stuff. That is the sound of winning at Popovers. So we have that beautiful brown exterior, and then when you tear it open, you have delicious, delicious nothingness. It's basically just air. The inside's very light, eggy, bready, kind of like a really soft dinner roll. If you enjoy the gourgere, this is sort of similar, but just incredibly easy and really ultra cool. And now what do you do with them? Serve it warm with just butter and jam. Beautiful. All right, next to a super stew. Genius. Maybe cut them in half and stuff them with chicken salad. That would be cool. All right, just hundreds of uses for these. I'm sure you'll figure it out. And considering how easy they are to make, I'm sure you're going to have lots of opportunity to experiment. So I really hope you give these a try. Head over to foodwishes.com for all the ingredient amounts and more info as usual. And as always, enjoy.